Sorry about the wind, guys. It is a Sunday. Some of the bits you don't really see. On Friday it was a bit of a later finish to get that tractor and trailer load up to the other depot. So I've this morning I've lifted up the Palax, cleaned underneath it. Want to make sure it keeps all nice and clear. That was all underneath it, so that was a week of processing. We haven't yet got an extractor on here. I have got one, the old one that came off of the Transor. It puts it into a kind of like a bin bag kind of size. It'll be perfect for this machine because it doesn't actually produce that much sawdust. I think we've done 3 IBCs and we've made 80 bags and about 30 IBCs. So compared to the woodcutter, it uses a lot less because it's a lot finer. The saw blade itself is thinner than the chain, and also you're cutting smaller timber, I guess. But yeah, so I'm just going to clear all this up. That's all underneath the machine. I've given it all a blow down, so it's all nice and clean in there. I have got a fire on, just burning a few scraps and some broken pallets and stuff like that. The wind's going the right way today, so I didn't want any smoke blowing into the neighbours. So it's actually burning pretty much into the barn, but yeah, just burning some scraps there. And I'm just getting all ready for tomorrow, so we've got nothing to hold us up basically. Want to hit Monday nice and hard. Trailer's full, timber deck's full. I may actually do a bit of processing this afternoon, make maybe 10 bags or something, give us a little bit of a head start. It's dry and the wind is blowing, so you can imagine all this dry air running through these logs in the cages. They're doing a fantastic job. Actually starting to check open there now, and all these logs, because they've been sat outside for about a month or so, granted they've been rained on, but this wind soon dries them out. Once again, I'm not saying they're dry, a lot further forward than when we first started cutting them. So we're currently a little bit short on timber, and I'll try and get out the wind here. My problem being is I'm trying to put greener stuff at the back of the shed, because that is what we're going to use last. Now, there is still nothing coming out of the woodland because it is too wet. Fingers crossed there will be some to buy from that really nice site I went and visited, and I am going to nip back there possibly this week and see the harvester running, because that's up and running again. But yeah, I'd like to put the greener stuff at the back because that's then got longer to dry, and we'll be using it towards the end of the season, say December, January, February kind of time. And we want to save a lot of that cord up there because that wants to be at the front of the shed. Now this is getting fairly dry, as I say, starting to crack open. So what I'm thinking is bagging all this up, apart from the oak, because that's going to go in the kiln and that's going to be sold for pizza oven logs this summer. But all this wood here now, it was destined for green wholesale, which a lot of people don't seem to be really buying at the moment. Everyone I've spoke to in the markets have said it's all a bit slow. So anyway, in my eyes, it's not really green now. It's kind of part seasoned at least. So this is going to be all going in vented bags. We'll run it over the cleaner. Yes, we've double handed it, but at least I know it's going in fairly dry and it's had a good start before it goes in the vented bags. So yeah, my plan is to bag this all up into vented bags and put it up at the second depot. So we've currently got 117 up there. I'd like to, as I say, I'm going to make a start now. Potentially put another load up there tomorrow afternoon. If not, it'll be Tuesday afternoon. And then we may have like some left over from Monday/Tuesday, and we'll send another trailer full up there Wednesday afternoon. If I could get 80 up there, plus whatever I can fit on my truck and trailer, I'd like to get us over the 200 mark at least by the end of next week. In theory, we should be up to about 250, but that only depends on what timber we've got up there. We have got quite a bit. Yeah, potentially 3 loads next week. Get that up there. That'll head us over 250 bags. I've had a count up. This should produce between 200 and 250 bags worth. So that'll bring us up to around 500 mark. I then, whatever green comes in, put in the cage, leave it in the sun for kind of a month or so, because we are heading into summer now, and I'm, fingers crossed it's actually going to be a hot one. We'll super dry them in the cage first, then change them over, put them in bags, because once they're in bags, they're ready to go. And when I go up to the second depot, I can just go up there with my crane on my own, load up and head off. Hi guys, I thought I'd just drop in here. There was a few comments on my last video regarding why don't I put them loose up at the second depot. Like I was just saying, all the logs are ready to go. It's another job I don't have to worry about, bagging up, getting things ready. It's just a case of going up there, loading up the truck and driving straight to the customer and dropping. So we're doing all the hard work now and all the time-consuming jobs now in the summer when we've got time, because in the winter we are so busy with deliveries. So that's the main reason why we use the vented bags. So anything green will go in cages from now on. And then I've got some seasoned cord up there, and I can buy in a tiny bit of seasoned cord, maybe another 4 loads or so. Because I'd like to get up to that 1,000 bag mark up there if I can. So it's going to be playing it by ear, but that's what's going to happen to this stuff. I've made my decision up now. This is definitely going to go in bags because I don't need it for the kiln yet, and I don't really see the point in selling it as green wholesale because it's not really that green anymore. If anyone orders any green wholesale, I will buy in a load of timber because it is starting to dry up and timber is due to come out the woodland, and that's what they'll have to have, just fresh cut. At the end of the day, I need to get that shed filled up and drying because it is going to be seasoned, fully seasoned product, and I can't leave it any longer. I'd love for it to be filled up by the end of April, potentially get a little bit tight, maybe the first week of May. That's very wishful thinking. I don't think it's going to happen. But we're doing well. Monday, tomorrow, we've got the 6-way blade coming. I have been putting some bigger bits aside for the 6-way knife. We've also got a new circular saw blade because this did get pinched when we were getting used to it. It did get pinched while the blade was fairly warm after like a full day of processing, and it has warped the blade very slightly. We have been using it. Might be hard to tell. Just bring it round. Right there. It's going to be hard for you guys to tell, but here, where it's a bit dirty, that is bent that way very, very slightly. It's only about 2 to 3 mil, but it makes a bit more of a noise than it should, and it does use up more power. So we're having to go through a lot slower. So yeah, I've got a second blade coming. We'll switch that straight over, and now we're a bit more familiar with the machine, we shouldn't really be pinching any bits of timber, and I'll send this off to get flattened back out, and if it does need a touch up, then they can touch up any teeth, but I very much doubt it because it's only had a week's worth of timber through it. I'm gonna give it a bit of a grease up now. I'm gonna pick all this up. I'm going to get an IBC inner if I've got one spare and cut it out so it kind of holds it here, and then it'll be easier to shove out because at the moment it's blowing absolutely everywhere. So yeah, I might put on a little bit of a time lapse. I'm just going to pick all this up, move this IBC out of the way. I've got a few more scraps to put on the fire, and then I may do a few cages on my own here this afternoon. Right, let's clean this up. The reason why we're not putting the extractor on yet is because we've actually run out of plug sockets. We haven't got any more 32 amp plug sockets, so we'll have to wait till we get that area sorted out over there before we can do that. But I have just built this. Well, it's my dog's swimming pool, Woody's swimming pool. They're actually really good for a dog swimming pool when it gets really hot, because they can't puncture it, and also you've got to tap on it to empty it out easily. So, little tip if you want to make your dog a hardy free swimming pool. And this is just to try and stop the wind from taking the sawdust too far down the yard, because it's really ripping today and it's just blowing it everywhere. So might even get the leaf blower out and just give the yard a blowout. I like giving the yard a blow with the leaf blower on a day like this, because it just takes the dust down the field, doesn't linger around. So, but I am going to jump on now, and I might even do this whole timber deck. We'll see how I go. Little head start for tomorrow, so probably film it, but I'll just show you my little setup as well. As I say, we're going into vented bags. I'm on my own, so we don't need the forklift all the time, so I'll just do it on there. I like having these IBCs set up, so this is obviously offcuts for the burner. So when I get an offcut, I can just literally turn around and put it straight there. I haven't got to go too far with it. And underneath here, the bits fall out, so I can get in here with a shovel and put it in this like burn box. It's really, really fine, small stuff, so it's going to work quite well. I am actually just give it a quick grease up before I start, and then I'll be away. But yeah, nice to have things really close to you. Literally turn around, put it straight in the bin. I love this little machine, it's great. Right, as I say, little grease up, and I'll get going. So I've actually found the limit of the timber deck there, really. It was basically a bit overloaded. and it's just struggling to bring the logs forward. So I thought I'd address a few comments from the last video. Someone said something about the controls should be on the right hand side so you can see a lot easier. But actually I really like this standing position. Granted, I am kind of looking down a bit, and when we put the machine in its final resting place, we will have it on kind of 6-inch risers so we can get a broom underneath and sweep out from underneath it easier. And also the whole machine could be 6 inches higher. Just for me, really, if someone really small is on it, they can be standing on a pallet or something. But it would just be a lot easier, I think. But yeah, I can look down through that mesh on the central panel there. I can see the saw blade, I can see the stop, I can see it drop down into the splitter mechanism. It all works really, really well. Granted, you have to move across to sort out a log like that, but it works pretty well, and it's a very simple machine. I like being on the left-hand side because you can manhandle the log if it's slightly twisted and still touch the controls. If the controls were over to the right, you couldn't do that. So yeah, there are plus sides and minuses to lots of different machines, but I actually really like this standing position, and I do like the controls. They're nice and simple. So again, guys, the warp blade really does sap the power out of the machine. You can imagine trying to put something that isn't straight through a log. It grips the log a lot, and doesn't make a nice smooth finish either. So I have been cutting actually today a lot bigger stuff than this with the new saw blade, and it runs through a lot cleaner and a lot quicker even than this smaller stuff. So quite a lot of you guys didn't suggest I cut this out because I just put a plate of wood on. I totally agree, that's what I thought I could do as well. But watch this. moves out the way when you start cutting. See? Stops it from pinching. So I couldn't put a block on because it would have got caught on the frame itself anyway. New circular saw blade is here. Looks very slightly different to the one that came on the machine itself. I'm just going to whip this one off now. The 6-way knife has arrived as well. I'll have to apologise about the wind today. It's the weather's turned and it's cold and windy, so it's still dry though. This a right hand thread, we did look in the manual before. This back in. It's as quick as that. Tight enough. Just take this pin out. That just stops the bearing going round to the shaft. Got enough clearances on all the guides down there. It definitely looks a little bit thicker, this one, but we shall see. Should be a lot quicker and a lot quieter now. Belt's still looking good. Nick, we will just run a grease gun over it quickly. Right. We're going to turn it down to reduce the chances of biting anything. I've got it set quite slow now.
Sorry, I didn't film anything when I was back in the yard, but I've loaded up the grafter and the Ife Williams trailer, the flatbed, in total 14 bags. We're very nearly at the second depot now. She knows about it, but we've been absolutely faultless on the way. We're perfect about it, so that's 14. If we did 3 of these in a day, it would save us getting George Moss in. Now, I don't mind getting George Moss in. Obviously, it's an added cost, or it is a cost. Granted, this is a cost, but it's my own time and just the fuel and wear and tear on the truck itself. So yeah, we've got four on the grafter and 10 on the trailer. Still got to fix this mess, but we're kind of waiting for these boys to finish up here and then we can sort it out. But some rig. 16 minutes to do 10 bags on the trailer ain't too great, is it? I'm going to take you in the telehandler in a minute and show you why it takes so long. All these modern telehandlers, honestly, they've got so much safety stuff on them. Yeah, right, let's get these last 4 off. Right, why does it take so long? Because these new machines have automatic handbrake. You can't use the joystick when you're stood
out the machine, which is, it seems obvious, but the slightly older models, you could reach in and use the joystick while you're stood next to the machine. For cases like this, I could literally put the first 2 loops on, boom out, and put the next 2 loops on, but I've got to actually physically get in because there's a sensor on the seat, and that's why getting the loops like that, like I've just done there, and I did a few times on the trailer, is such a good little win. As long as you get 2 loops that are opposite each other, the bag holds absolutely fine and saves you getting in and out. But no doubt one of the bags I'm going to take off of here, I will have to get out, and you'll see. And the automatic handbrake is so lazy. You press the button, it takes a second or 2 before it realises it's off, and then you can put it into the gear. And if you put it into gear too quickly, then you've got to put it back into neutral and then back into gear again. So that's why you see me trying a couple of times. I mean, yes, obviously if you try it too many times, this way is actually slower, like this now. But I feel like I can get it, yeah. Nice little win there. Don't lose it. Yeah, we got that one now. Now I've got the opposite one, which I don't think we're going to be able to get. I think that's the other bag. Yeah, that's the other bag. Right, I've got to hop out. Hop back in, press the parking brake, it now realises it's off, and now you can actually put it into gear and move. A manual handbrake is so much quicker, you can just, and now it's all electronic. Sometimes I think old way, well, quite a lot of the time actually, the old ways are best ways. But anyway, we're on the 3rd layer coming out from the wall, and we've just started going 4 high. I can actually technically go 5 high on this round because I can tie in. Sorry, it's the 2nd layer going 4 high, so I do believe we could go 5 high on this layer and bind in the 2 4 high bags, if that makes sense. We're trying to kind of make a bit of a pyramid. When I first start off, I do 2 sets of 3 and then 1 in the middle, and then we've done another set of 3 in front with 1 at the top, binding the 2nd and the 3rd stack together. And now technically the 2 4 ones, we could put 1 on top, but because it's not very stable this early on, I might do another one and then do the 5th, because the 5th are quite a pain to get to anyway, and you can only do you can actually do 6 in the middle where the rafters of the building are a bit higher. That, I think it's like 137 now. I'm going to look at my notes. I'm doing a very strict date and how many I bring up every day, and then I want an exact number of how many we get in here, because I tried to do it last year, but different size trailer fulls, and some trailer fulls were more full than others. Just all a bit complicated, and we didn't quite keep on track of it enough. See if we can fit 1 more in this corner. Spin you around, you see that? I'll try and get 1 up against that bar there, and that can hold in that side. Let's have a look. go. What I'm actually going to do is get it further down to the forks. Just have another bite at it. Just trying to squeeze it in there a little bit. Come on, Gil. There we go. It's tied in there nice. It's got an extra bag in there. So that's a nice neat stack. We're going to try and keep it that way. But look at that. Nice neat stack. I'll confirm how many we got in there, but I'm going to go back, potentially go and grab another 14 now. And Andy, if we've got enough bags, he's going to put the tipping trailer on, put another 6 or 8 on there, and that would have taken us up quite a lot today, near 40. So yeah, that's the plan. We have to put some pallets down the next run, so we can start doing the next row along. But it's going well, slowly filling up. Now, who out there is a Land Cruiser fan? Adam from Aztec has got his new work bus. Brand new Land Cruiser. All detailed up. Well, we're back at base. And I don't know if you can see, it started raining again. So I'm not too sure if I'm going to take another load up there tonight. It's coming up to 4:30 now, so I may well load up and yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll load up if I've got enough room to park it in the barn. And I'll park it in the barn. That's the first thing we can do tomorrow. He's got to do that. I think we'll just have a big clean up now. We can have a big clean up. Get everything sorted, ready for tomorrow. Give the machine a blow down, grease up. I'm going to come and sort out a little bit more timber. Just try and get it sorted. I know it sounds a bit funny, not processing in the rain or moving stuff in the rain, but you've got to imagine if it's physically dry going into the barn, it's got the best chance it's got. If it's wet from the rain, it will just take that much longer to dry. We'll have to shed that water first and then start the drying process. So yeah, if rain can please leave again. I thought we were going to have a nice week. I think we are meant to have a nice week, so maybe this might just be a shower passing through. But I am going to get the kiln on probably Monday. We're Wednesday today, so yeah, I'll probably wait till Monday, and then I can have a break over the weekend, because otherwise you've got to keep it going. So yeah, Monday morning we'll get that going. We might get it loaded up Friday or tomorrow, but yeah, we'll actually turn on the burner on Monday and get another batch through it. And I'm going to also get 6 cages of this oak stuff passing through, just to try and get some of them samples out, and then we can put that on the website for the smoking. I am also looking for a British lumpwood charcoal supplier. I'm going to buy a couple of pallets of that and just try and get that summer range out there. Anyway, let's go and see what Andy's up to, and we'll have a big clean up. So when I move this machine into its final place under cover, we are going to mount this on a frame at about this height, maybe slightly lower, 6 to 8 inches above the ground, and this will allow us to get in here a bit easier, but also to keep the underside cleaner, because it does drop down some sawdust inside the machine. So I just want to have enough room to get a broom in and, you know, brush it out. So Right, for me and Woody, as you can tell, it's very windy. You can tell by the ear meters. That is going to be it for today. It has ended up being a very wet Wednesday now, so yeah, it's just turned 5 o'clock and he's gone. I'm just going to finish off packing up and I'll be going as well. But yeah, Palax is tidied down, greased up, all ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow looks like a better day again, and tomorrow morning I'm going to load up first thing and take this up to the second depot again. If we can just keep taking loads up there little and often, we'll keep chipping away at the total, and we'll get there eventually. Like I said, we've still got all this to bag up, and we've still got quite a bit of cord. And bit of information. It's looking pretty likely that there's going to be some timber coming out of that job I videoed a few days ago and a couple of weeks ago. The fingers crossed it's going to be real nice stuff like we saw there. They are going to grade out any chip stuff, and that will be chipped, and then they need to make their 700 ton target for the estate, and then after that there will be a surplus for sale. So hopefully I'm going to buy the rest of it. It's looking about 100 to 150 tons, so fingers crossed we'll get that, and that will go at the back of the shed just in front of this stuff. But it will all be ash, so it'll dry pretty quickly. Before I go, I have been working on something pretty special. It's going to be coming out in the next month or two. I want to let you guys know as soon as possible when it's going to be released. But yeah, me and a business partner have been working on something pretty cool in the firewood industry. If any of you guys that do firewood that are based in the UK or Ireland, please leave a comment saying that you do and whereabouts you're based. I just want to gauge roughly how many of my YouTube following is actually in firewood production in the UK. So I appreciate all you watching the videos, but yeah, we just want to try and gauge how many of you are actually watching the videos, and I'll be sure to let you guys know as soon as I can, because it will benefit you, every single one of you that are selling firewood in the UK. So yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope to see you all in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.